America appears peaceful when viewed quickly. Employment figures have not fallen sharply. Stock markets keep showing trust, and from afar, the situation seems like the economy remains stronger than many people thought. However, that outer calm covers something much more weak below the surface. All over the nation, families hold record amounts of loans, while the expense of basic living continues to increase. Payments for insurance, power bills, housing, and daily needs take a bigger part of earnings each month. Meanwhile, state governments, which provide main support for schools, hospitals, roads, and rescue services, slowly lose the extra funds that once guarded them against money problems. This report does not focus on Wall Street changes or brief market movements. It focuses on ordinary people pressure, on states whose money sources come from few fields, on spending plans pulled too tight, on families who cannot handle another price rise without serious trouble. As the country gets nearer to a slowdown, one truth stands out more than any big news figure. Money declines do not affect everyone the same way. Some states possess extra savings, different job types, and higher earnings that allow them to bend without damage. Others lack those things. And those weaker states will suffer the hurt first. The United States money fall will not come as one big sudden drop. It will develop in stages with slower progress, harder loans, smaller income. And when that starts, these 10 states will stand nearest to the danger line. Number 10, Kentucky. Kentucky seldom enters talks about money danger. It does not suffer extreme house prices. It avoids control by risky technology growth. And on the outside, daily life here still seems fairly steady. But that quiet hides a deeper weakness, one based in earnings, job fields, and small money choices. Almost 1 in 5 people lives under the poor level, and average family earnings stay much lower than the countrywide mark. That fact alone would not promise problems. But when expenses grow quicker than pay, even tiny upsets turn risky. During recent years, basic items like power, food shops, and mainly insurance have reduced the small extra money many families once held. Kentucky economy also faces strong links to changing fields. Factory work, farming, and power still build the main jobs across wide areas of the state. When countrywide need weakens, plants reduce work hours, farm income shrinks, and power-linked tax money drops. These fields do not slow softly, they shrink fast when situations worsen. House stories show alike signs. Prices stay reasonable against shore markets, but ability to pay quietly worsens. Land taxes and insurance expenses keep rising while higher loan rates trap many house owners in position. In countryside areas, selling today often brings loss. Remaining brings higher monthly payments with unchanged earnings. Kentucky danger does not come from too much. It comes from weakness. A low earnings base, few different jobs, and towns dependent on small group of bosses leave the state open when a slowdown comes. Number 9, Rhode Island. Rhode Island may count as the smallest state in America, but its money exposure stays far from small. Behind old ports and picture-perfect areas lies a money system with very small space for mistakes. And as the country economy slows, that space vanishes quickly. The state trouble begins with its safety funds. Emergency savings stay low, leaving leaders with small choices if income drops. When price rises continue and tax money softens together, even a brief decline can force hard decisions, cuts to public help, late road projects, or higher taxes that add more weight on families already stressed. On the streets, the job market has lost speed. Travel visits and healthcare, two of Rhode Island's most key money drivers, show clear signs of tiredness. Guest money has cooled. Smaller hotels fight to keep rooms filled, and health systems face higher expenses without equal income rise. Jobs grow harder to find just as living costs increase. House problems make the weight heavier. Average house prices stand far over what local earnings can easily handle, creating one of the worst payability differences in the area. Many middle-group families now use loans to pay basic house expenses, pushing family debt higher step by step. What once seemed easy during years of low loan rates now seems hard to breathe. Adding to the danger stands a long-time retirement payment load that still hangs over state money matters. As price rises reduce fixed earnings and return changes happen, old workers and taxpayers both face risk. Rhode Island danger does not mean quick fall, it means tiredness. A small economy, low savings, and rising expenses pulling against each other until something breaks at last. Number 8, Idaho. For years, Idaho served as an example of success after the health crisis. Fresh air, wide land, and fairly low expenses turned the state into a strong pull for distance workers, old people, and money placers leaving costlier areas. Growth arrived fast, and for some time it seemed without stop. But when slowdown forces start to grow, that quick rise has turned into Idaho's biggest weakness. The people increased stressed everything together. House need burst, pushing prices far over what local pay could handle. Road systems fell behind. Schools, ways, and public help fought to match speed. Now, as loan rates stay high, the force has turned around. House offers stay longer, stock has risen much, and buyers have stepped back. Many families that bought near the top watch their ownership value vanish. Idaho economy also stays closely tied to few fields. Land sales, building, farming, and a rising but weak technology park carry most of the state progress. Each of these fields feels strong effects from higher loan expenses and slower buyer need. Building work has cooled, farm sales abroad have softened, and job cuts in Boise technology area grow more usual. Meanwhile, family money tightens. Loan levels have risen steady, and more families now spend too large a part of earnings just to keep house. Land taxes and insurance expenses keep growing even as pay rise slows. Idaho did not face trouble because it failed. It grew too fast with too small space for mistakes. When progress stops, states built on speed feel the hit first. Number 7. Arizona. For most of the last 10 years, Arizona seemed without stop. People flowed in from higher expense states pulled by sun, room, and promise of cheaper life. Phoenix, Scottsdale, and Tucson became signs of success after the health crisis move. But as the economy tightens, the same powers that fed Arizona rise now push it toward stress. House stands at the middle of the trouble. Prices rose far quicker than local earnings, mainly in the Phoenix City area. Even after latest cooling, house values stay well beyond reach for many people. A rising part of families now spend over a third of earnings just on house, leaving small space for rising insurance, power, and travel expenses. Arizona money position adds another level of danger. Spending savings stay low against the size of state duties, limiting power to soften a long slowdown. At the same time, building work, once a main job growth driver, has slowed much. New plans face delay or stop as money costs stay high and need softens. Travel visits, another big support of the economy, also lose speed. Guest numbers have cooled, hotel rooms filled less, and extra spending faces pressure. When travel weakens, effects spread fast through food places, shops, and local help. Perhaps most worrying stands the change in people move. The inflow that once kept need is slowing, and some families start to leave seeking lower expenses elsewhere. Arizona test no longer means growth. It means ability to pay and lasting power. Number 6. Nevada. Nevada economy has always followed the stream of guests. When travel visits do well, the state grows quickly. When it slows, the effects arrive at once and without mercy. As slowdown forces build, that reliance turns into a serious weakness. Games, guest service, and fun remain the main part of Nevada job market, mainly in Las Vegas, but as families across the country cut extra spending, fewer travelers book trips, meetings shrink, and fun schedules thin. Hotel rooms filled less, and game income has softened signs that seldom stay alone long. The job market already feels the hit. Service field job cuts rise and lack of work stays among the highest in the area. When travel shrinks, it does not only touch games places. Food places lose customers. Shop traffic falls. Sales tax income drops, pressing state and local spending plans that depend much on buyer money. House once a good point no longer gives help. Prices have started to slip. Stock has climbed and home losses quietly return in parts of the Las Vegas city area. Many house owners who bought late in the rise now owe almost what their places value, limiting movement just as money conditions worsen. Nevada also lacks real money safety. With low spending savings, even a medium income drop can force quick cuts to schools, healthcare, and road systems. Little space exists to handle long weakness. Nevada has lived through declines before, but always by quick return. This time, the return may not come soon enough. Number 5. Indiana. Indiana has long served as a sign of money trust. Factory plants, goods move centers, and sending places form the main part of the state character. When America makes and creates, Indiana gains, but that power turns weak when country need starts to cool. Factory work stays deeply changing, and early signs of slowdown already appear. Plant output has softened, hours reduced, and hiring stops spread across factory paths. In towns built around one plant or boss, even small cuts spread outward. Fewer hours mean fewer pay amounts, lower local buying, and smaller tax income almost at once. Indiana house market once seemed strong thanks to fairly low prices. But ability to pay weakens as pay fights to match rising insurance, power, and land taxes. A rising part of people who rent now spend too much of earnings just to keep house, while house owners face higher monthly expenses with small chance of loan change help. The state money choices also stay limited. Spending savings give only medium guard, leaving small space to act strong if lack of work rises more. Meanwhile, family loans have climbed steady, and home removals grow more usual as money pressure builds. What makes Indiana especially open stands structure focus. Towns tied to one field lack easy other choices when that field slows. Unlike mixed big city economies, these areas cannot change fast. Indiana does not face risk because it lacks steady base. It faces risk because it stays open. When the country power shifts down, the middle land feels it right away. Number 4, South Carolina. For most of the last 10 years, South Carolina sold itself as a low-expense choice against costlier shore states. Warm days, lower taxes, and a rush of new people fed quick rise in house building and travel visits. But as money conditions tighten, that growth wave starts to show deep breaks. House stands at the middle of the slowdown. Prices climbed fast during the move rush, but earnings never reached equal. Now ability to pay stretches thin and need has softened. Building work has slowed much, leaving half-done projects on edges of growing city areas. What once showed chance now shows too much trust. Travel visits, another support of the state economy, also face pressure. As families cut extra spending, fewer travelers book beach trips and short leaves. Lower guest numbers turn straight into weaker income for hotels, food places, and local works fields that hire a large part of workers. South Carolina money position adds to the danger. Spending savings stay limited, reducing state power to soften a long decline. Job losses start to gather in building, guest service, and shop, leaving workers open in the fields most touched by money changes. Many people move to South Carolina seeking low expense and steady life. Instead, they find rising expenses and shrinking chance. Insurance payments, power bills, and house costs keep climbing even as pay rise slows. South Carolina test does not ask if growth will slow. It already has. The true question asks how deeply the state will feel the fix. Number 3, Mississippi. Mississippi does not require a slowdown to show its weak points. Those weak points have appeared for years. What a country decline does is remove any left space for mistakes. And in Mississippi, that space already stands dangerously low. Earnings levels stay among the lowest in the nation, while poor life touches too large a part of people. For many families, pay amounts hardly cover basic needs even in good times. When prices for power, insurance, and food rise, no extra guard remains to take the hit. One lost pay can start a chain of unpaid accounts, loans, and house trouble. Public systems face constant stress. Healthcare reach stays low. Country hospitals keep closing, and school money falls behind country marks. Road systems tell a like tale. Old roads, bridges, and water lines need money that state and local plans struggle to give. These do not count as FAR problems. They touch workability, safety, and long growth straight. Mississippi economy also stays closely focused. Farming, factory, and government jobs rule large parts of the state. Each of these fields feels strong effects from declines, mainly when government income falls. When cuts arrive, they hit help that people already need most. House may seem low cost, but owning grows more weak. Rising insurance expenses and power bills turn simple homes into money weight. Many families stay owners in name, only one fix or payment rise from crisis. Mississippi danger does not mean quick fall. It means long stop that deepens with each money hit. When a slowdown arrives, return here does not jump, it pulls slow. Number 2, Colorado. For years, Colorado served as proof that new growth could succeed. A strong technology field, steady people move, and nice life way pushed the state into a 10-year-long rise. But when slowdown forces arrive, that success has left Colorado too stretched. House gives the clearest danger sign. Prices rose far quicker than earnings, mainly along the Front Range. Even after latest cooling, house values stay beyond reach for rising part of people. Rents have climbed much, pushing more families into expense burden. What once felt like good times now feels keeping out. The job market also loses speed. Job cuts have spread through technology, building, and travel visits, the very fields that drove Colorado growth. These jobs tend to vanish fast when money tightens and extra spending slows. As work weakens, buyer trust follows, creating a circle that pulls local economies down. Family money faces growing pressure. Loan levels have risen, credit amounts harder to handle, and higher loan rates have closed the exit of loan change. At the same time, state and local leaders face tighter plans, limiting power to answer as help needs rise. Colorado's main trouble does not mean fall, it means lack of balance. The state grew too quick, depended too much on high-skill and risky fields, and let house expenses run ahead of basics. When growth stops, those lacks of balance appear fast. Colorado still holds long-term powers, but without a change, those powers will not stop short-term hurt. Number 1. Louisiana. Louisiana has met hardship for many years. Storms, floods, and money hits belong to its past. But what makes this time different stands that the state enters a country decline with almost no money space left. When slowdown forces arrive, Louisiana does not prepare for hit, it already takes it. The state money position counts among the weakest in the nation. Spending savings stay very low, leaving small guard if income falls. When power prices soften or travel declines, effects strike at once. Unlike bigger or more mixed states, Louisiana holds limited other ways to replace lost earnings. The economy itself stays tightly focused. Power, travel visits, and building rule jobs across much of the state. Each of these fields feels strong effects from money slowdowns, loan rates, and world need. As plans delay and travel slows, jobs vanish quick, and many do not return. Family money faces constant stress. Earnings have stopped rising, while insurance payments, power bills, and house expenses keep climbing. Flood and property insurance have grown specially heavy, turning normal storm times into money crises. For many families, owning no longer brings steady path, but constant danger. Road systems tell the last part. Old roads, walls, and water lines need money that shrinking plans cannot give. Each disaster leaves harm that takes longer to fix, weakening trust and speeding people loss. Louisiana fall would not come sudden. It would build slow, a steady unwind driven by open risk, reliance, and tiredness. When a slowdown hits a state with no guard left, return becomes far hope instead of soon plan. Across these 10 states, a clear shape appears. The biggest dangers do not link to size or name, but to lack of balance, high loans, low savings, house expenses far from earnings, and economies too dependent on weak fields. As the United States money fall develops, the states most open to slowdown will feel the pressure first. This will not become one countrywide sudden drop, but a moving decline that tightens loans, weakens jobs, and stresses public plans before most people notice what happens. Declines show what growth covers. And in that showing stand both danger and chance. Which state surprised you the most? And which one do you believe can still change things around?